Hello everyone, good afternoon and welcome to today's webinar in the topic of Artificial Intelligence for All. My name is Vilasini Samnien. I will be your moderator today. So let me announce some housekeeping work. So please acknowledge that this webinar will be recorded and shared on our YouTube channel. And please keep your microphone mute during the session to avoid background noise and unless invited to speaker. And you may share your question using the Q&A channel, and you may use the raise your hand button if you would like to ask the question directly. So today we have two guest speakers. First, we have Dr. Adeel Munawar. He is an AI researcher at Sirindhorn Institute of Technology, Thammasat University, and he worked on smart system and making technology more helpful in real life problems. And Mr. Tariq Shah, he's a data analyst and automation expert who worked on several projects using AI in both industry and research in Thailand and USA. So both of them have the application about the ID have application about the machine learning, multi-agent system, and predictive model. And Talik also have application about demand forecasting, optimization, and automation using AI. So please relax, sit back, and enjoy the session. Over to you, Dr. Adi.
Thank you so much, Nan, for this kind introduction. Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you, HITAP, and especially the ESK unit for having us here today. My name is Adeel Munawar, and along with me, Mr. Tariq, and he is more towards the data analytics. And today we are starting a webinar series titled Artificial Intelligence for All, Understanding, Exploring, and Applying Modern AI. So this series is all about exploring the artificial intelligence and make it relevant to everyone. So let's start and learn something together. Okay, let's have a quick overview what we are going to explore today. The first thing is we will understand and explore the artificial intelligence, what it is, how it works, and what is the logic behind the basic artificial intelligence model. And the second thing is we will see some fascinating and the surprising artificial intelligence application at the end. Before directly jump into the artificial intelligence, I would like all to understand, all to keep one thing in your mind. The first purpose of this webinar series is to help those who are not confident when they're talking about the artificial intelligence, especially when they are talking to clients and the other people. So they should not rely on the technical person all the time. And the other thing is, it is very obvious that we cannot achieve anything with the help of artificial intelligence until we exactly understand the story behind it, what artificial intelligence is and what power it holds. And there is some myth. Some people think that artificial intelligence is not for them because they are not technical persons. For example, someone is from medical field, some from the agriculture, pharmacist, and so on. But I ask this question, if artificial intelligence is not for you, then who is it for? The truth is, artificial intelligence is for everyone. We have to use it and we have to explore the possibility how we can utilize in our daily life. It can help us to increase our productivity and the smartness up to 15 to 20%. But the real problems start when we keep working in conventional way. Then sooner or later, obviously someone will come along with the artificial intelligence skills and his productivity and smartness will be better than us and they will beat us. And then we will blame artificial intelligence. But actually, this is not the artificial intelligence. This is our lack of interest. We miss the opportunity to grow with artificial intelligence. So there is one more thing. I always hear that some people think artificial intelligence is all about coding. Like we have to do the coding to do the artificial intelligence. But that is not true. Coding is just a small part of artificial intelligence. Just assume that we all have our personal cars and we all are the good drivers. We all are the good drivers. So how many of us ever think about the person who built the car? Probably no one. what is the mechanical functionality of the car and what is happening inside the gear. No one think about it. But the person who built the car, that design a very good interface. So that's why we can easily drive the car and reach to the destination. In the same way, here we are not going to build the artificial intelligence model from scratch. We are going to use the already available model in our fields. So here I know that some people just know about the basic skills of the artificial intelligence. Maybe just they are familiar with the artificial intelligence term, but some are very professional. So if I will give some explanation or some example at the basic level, please be patient with me. And the goal is to just convey the message in a very simple way so everyone can understand. So let's start and learn together. Let's have a brief Let's have a look at the brief history. We can see here the artificial neuron introduced in 1943. And after that, in 1950, Turing test was invented. I'm not going into detail who was the Alan Turing, why he proposed the Turing test, and why it is important. Here we can also see that in 1956, officially, the artificial intelligence was born. The things I really want to highlight here, artificial intelligence is not new. It's been here for decades. And we can also see that rise and fall of the artificial intelligence according to the time. So the real question is, if artificial intelligence is not new, then why we are discussing artificial intelligence nowadays? Why artificial intelligence is everywhere now? So let's try to answer this question. The first thing is, nowadays we have the more computational powers. In our normal computers, we have the GPU and TPU chips that can solve the high complex problem in just nanoseconds. And the second thing is, now we have a huge amount of data. And in artificial intelligence, we only need the data, and data will help us to create the solution. So nowadays we have the huge amount of data. And the third thing is, now we have more efficient model that can help us to train the machine learning model. And the fourth is, we have the huge investment from the government, private sectors, and the startups. And these investments pushes the innovation in this field. And before starting the artificial intelligence, it would be very nice if you will understand the logic behind how the human and machine thinking. If you understand this concept, then artificial intelligence will be very easy for us. So let's have a look at this picture, how we human thinking. And here we have the two main module. One is the short-term memory and one is long-term memory. And maybe all of you aware of this, like short-term memory means that the temporary memory. If we will sleep, the information will lose. And the other thing is the long-term memory. This is actually our permanent memory. This is our knowledge. So as a human, how we start to get the information from the environment with the help of five senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. And these five senses continuously sending the information to our sensory memory. Now, the problem is not all the information are important for us. For example, now if you will observe, you will see some noise, you will hear some noise. For example, I can hear this fan noise. But before asking this, no one was putting attention on this. But now we put the attention. That's why this noise come to our short-term memory, and we start rehearsal here. And we check, okay, what type of sound it is. And if it is important, we will save it in our long-term memory. And here, this part is not simple. Actually, this is our consciousness level, who we are, why we come here, what we are doing, what is our future goal, and all of our thinking is happening here. And this is our decision-making part, actually. And this is called short-term memory. And after that, we will create some response. And you will surprised to see that in machines, actually the same thing is replicated here. Machines are also getting the information from the environment with the help of these things: sensors, keyboard, mouse, microphone, touch, and pressure pads. We replicate our senses with the help of hardware. And these things come to the sensor memory. And again, the same concept will happen. If we put the attention here, then this data will come to the short-term memory. And in here, in computers, short-term memory have the processor, it have the RAM. Now I'm not going in detail what is the RAM and what type of the RAM here, but you can understand like this is the brain of the computer. And in the same way as human, we have hard disk here, our long-term memory. I hope you all understanding what is the hard disk and what is the long-term memory and what is the short-term memory. So the things I want to show here, we just replicate the human logic behind the information processing, and we replicate here. And since the beginning of the technological era, scientists and the computer engineer trying to replicate the human behavior to make the machine intelligent. But the real question is this replication is enough? Just making the same component as the human, it can help us to achieve our goal? Obviously not. So that's why artificial intelligence come in the picture. So here now we need the intelligence along with this replication to achieve a specific goal. And you can see here in this diagram, every component is a separate domain of research, and some of the parts is better than the human. For example, we have the camera that can also see in the darkness, but the human eye cannot see. The only thing is missing is intelligence. And now that's why the artificial intelligence concept come into the picture. Now let's try to answer this question. What is the artificial intelligence? We really understand it or not? If we ask this question to us, what words come into your mind? Maybe the first word come to your mind is ChatGPT. That's it. And the second may be machine learning, robotics, deep learning, image recognition, and many more. But what do you think? These are the artificial intelligence? Can we define the artificial intelligence with the help of these keywords? Obviously not. These are just keywords that represent the tools that using in the artificial intelligence. Some are the application of the artificial intelligence and some are the domain of the artificial intelligence. So in the simple way, we can say that we have a big umbrella that is called artificial intelligence, and these all things under that umbrella. Some are playing some part in artificial intelligence, but some are not linked with the artificial intelligence. So let's try to understand what is the artificial intelligence with the help of a very simple definition. Artificial intelligence is a branch of computer science that focusing on creating intelligence machine that can think and act like human. Think and act like humans. AI systems are able to learn from the environment and experience and can adapt to changing situation. Just for the understanding, just keep one thing in your mind. Every non-living thing around you, if it is replicating human behavior or human thinking, you can say this is the artificial intelligence. You can see in this diagram, we have the equipment. Obviously, this is artificial equipment. We cannot generate the biological organs. So we have the equipment. What we did, we just add the human intelligence in this equipment and make it artificial intelligence. For example, we have the Siri. We can talk same like the humans. The second thing, we have the robots that can play chess with us, same like the humans. And the third thing, we have the face recognition. In the application, it seems very simple, but in behind the scene, the machines exactly capturing the pattern that humans follow. For example, if I want to memorize someone's face, I will see what feature of that face have, what color of that face. And the same way, machine will extract the information and machine will use it for the future use and detect the face. Now let's discuss about the stages of artificial intelligence. The first stage and the first thing is artificial narrow intelligence. And in this stage, a machine is perfect only just for the single task. And to be very honest, nowadays we are on this stage number 1. It is also called the weak artificial intelligence. Actually, this stage have many names. For example, some people call it shallow AI. The machines can perform only single task in a good way. For example, Siri can talk to you. Alexa can control your house. And the second stage is artificial general intelligence. Here, the machines can exactly act like the humans. Not exactly, but it can perform the task same like the humans, maybe better than the humans in some cases. But this is just the theoretical. This is not the present, and we can say that this is just under development. Nowadays, we cannot see this type of artificial intelligence. For example, if you will instruct the machines, you can say that if we will give the thousands of documents to the machines can process that documents in few seconds. But if you will instruct the machine, like the robots, to go and turn off the TV, switch off the TV in the dining room, maybe robot can never do this, and it will take the years to learn this behavior. And the third and the surprising stage is machine consciousness. Here we are going to develop the actual consciousness level, same like the humans in the machine. Who I am, what I am doing, who is my father, who is my mother, who is my friend, who hate me, who love me, everything. Actually, we get confused because of the sci-fi movie we watched on the Netflix, where the Terminator, for example, the Terminators, the machines making the other machines. And someday they decide, okay, let's destroy the humanity. We don't need them. So don't get confused. This type of intelligence is not existing. And no one can tell us when they will come. It's very far. Nowadays, we are only at stage one. And here we can see that artificial intelligence is expected to add $15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030. And these contribution is just from stage one, weak AI. It's also include the generative AI and chat GPTs. Now let's discuss about some key domains of the artificial intelligence. It include machine learning, deep learning, knowledge-based system, expert system, computer vision, and natural language processing. It's also called the NLP. And now let's discuss about the key domain of the artificial intelligence, which is machine learning. Don't get confused. Machine learning is just the domain of the artificial intelligence. You can say that this is just one part of the artificial intelligence, but in today's session, we will just explore the machine learning. But before starting the machine learning, let's try to answer one question: why machine learning is really matters today? The first thing is because we have the huge amount of data, and here we can see that 2.5 quintillion bytes of data created daily. We need smarter system to process and make sense of it. Just for the understanding, one quintillion bytes equal to the 1 billion GB, 1 billion gigabytes. So you can assume that how huge data are available now. So machine learning can use this data and extract the useful insights from that data, and we can use that insights for decision making, and we can grow our business with the help of that insights. The second is better decisions and faster decisions. Most of the companies like the Netflix and the Amazon using this data and extracting the insights, and then they are exploring the business opportunity. They already prepare with the risk factors with the help of this data. The third thing is it can help us to uncover hidden insights. It's if you will do it manually, maybe you will spend months for doing it manually, but machine learning can do it in just seconds. And the fourth thing is machine learning can solve complex problems, including climate modeling or the artificial intelligence, autonomous driving. Just for the example, nowadays scientists are even spotting the stars that are 2,400 light years away from our planet, but the machine learning make them capable to spot that one. And we have a lot of examples that can show how the machine learning can solve the complex problem. Now let's try to understand what actually the machine learning is. Machine learning is actually the subset of the artificial intelligence which provide machines the ability to learn automatically and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed to every task. So here the concept is very simple. We will give the data to machine. The data can include anything. It can be the hospital data, it can be the image data, it can be the weather data. That it depends what we are going to do. And with the help of this data, that machine learning model will train. Here in this part, the machine will extract the insights. It will create the correlation between the features, and after that, it will provide us the model. And we will use this model for the future prediction. And when we will have the future prediction, we will make the decision accordingly. And that's why it's very helpful for us. Now let's understand the key terminologies of the machine learning. And I saw many times some people get confused between the algorithms and the model. These both things are totally different. Actually, algorithm is nothing but the set of rules that can help us to perform a specific task. For example, if I want to go out from this room, I have to follow some steps. So this is one algorithm. So I will move one step, I will turn second step, and I will open the door. This is third step. So this is the algorithm that I will follow to go out from the room. But the model is the different things. Actually, model will use the algorithm to train the machine learning. And once the algorithm is used by the model, it will be a complete package. For example, ChatGPT is one model, but ChatGPT is used some algorithm. That's why you cannot search the illegal things on the ChatGPT, because actually this thing is missing in the model. But if they change their model and include all the information, for example, now they have some restriction. So if they will remove that restriction from the model, from the algorithm, then it will totally change. The third thing is predictive variable. In machine learning, you will hear about the predictive variable. Actually, let's try to understand this thing with the help of example. For example, we are going to make a system that will take the weight of the person and the system will return the height. So we have two variables here. One is the weight and the second thing is height. You will give the weight and the machine will return the height. So here the weight is the input. It is called predictive variable. In the same way, we have the response variable. So in the same example, now the height is response variable, like you are giving the weight and you are getting the height. Next, we have the training data and testing data. As I mentioned before, data is very important in the machine learning. Actually, this is a base of our knowledge. So in machine learning, we have two terminology, training data and testing data. Actually, this is just a split of the main data. Why we do this? Because we have to validate our model. The training data is used when we train the model, and testing data used when we validate the model after training, because we don't have any way to validate the model. So we will use the same data to validate, and this data is called testing data. Next, we have the machine learning overflow. Actually, machine learning overflow workflow involves building a predictive model that can be used to find the solution for a problem statement. It includes the define objective, data gathering, preparing data, data exploration, building a model, model evaluation, and finally prediction. And this is the basic workflow that is happening behind every machine learning model. Now let's try to understand this. And to understand this, just assume that you have been given an example that you have to solve with the help of machine learning. So here the problem is you have to predict the possibility of rain with the help of some features, with the help of some weather condition. So in the first step, what you will do, you have to define your objectives. For example, what are we trying to predict? What are the target features? What is the input data? And what kind of problem are we facing? That can be either binary classification or clustering or regression. If you are not familiar with these terms, don't worry. We will have a detailed session after this session. So we will explain in detail what are these terms. So now just try to understand the concept. And once you define the objective, the next step is data gathering, because our problem is the weather forecasting. So we will collect the relevant data. So in this application, we have the weather condition, temperature, atmosphere pressure, wind speed, and cloud coverage, and it is etc. But we have how we will get this data. We have various ways we can get from the sensors. We have scraping method nowadays. We can directly extract the data from the website. And those who are new in the machine learning, nowadays we have some open source websites. For example, nowadays Kaggle is a very famous website. You can download the data from there and you can train your own model. After getting the data, the next step is data preparing or data cleaning. Actually, this is the very time-consuming step. Here you have to carefully check your data because it's never possible that the data will be in right format. So you have to make it in the right format. So here you have to handle the missing values, corrupt values, and you have to check the redundancy. If you will not do this step, then the simple concept is you will add the garbage in the machine learning model and the machine learning model will return the garbage. So it will not be helpful. So these steps take attention and we have to carefully select the right format of the data. Next step is exploratory data analysis. It's also called the EDA. Actually, here you have to work as a detective. You have to check what are the patterns, what are the trends, what are the relationship between the features, and you can use the graphs and some other method to show the visualization. And after that, you will generate a hypothesis, and you can also select the relevant features that you are going to put in the machine learning. Actually, this is also a very big topic, the feature selection, and if we will get chance, we will discuss about it, why this is important in the machine learning. The feature selection is very important in the machine learning because, let me give you a brief information about this. Actually, if we are going to predict the rain occurrence, we have some relevant features including temperature, humidity, and maybe the wind speed. But on the same time, if someone add that how much people are present in the HITAP, how many people are absent from the HITAP, if you will use this information and add in the machine learning, model will work. But the problem is that information is not important. This is the feature, but it is not important for us. So that's why we can do the feature engineering here. Once we done this part, we will move to the step number 5, where the model will use the training data set. As I mentioned before, we split our data set already in two parts. One is the training part and the other is the testing part. So here we will use the training data set in the machine, and machine will learn and extract some useful information from that data, useful insights from that data, and it will give us a fully developed model. And we will use this model for the evaluation and the optimization. So this is our 6th step. At this step, we will use the testing data. Don't get confused that now we are going to evaluate the model here. And only way to evaluate the model is our testing data, because testing data is not seen by the machine. So here we can check the performance. Actually, we have the various metrics to check the performance of our machine learning model. It also depends on what type of problem we are solving. It is either it's a regression problem or either it's a classification problem. So we have the different metrics for every problem. So here just assume that we are checking the accuracy. So in case this step show the very less accuracy, then we can do the hyperparameter tuning. If you are not familiar with this term, don't worry. Hyperparameter tuning is nothing but the change of value of the specific algorithms. Okay. And after that, we will finally get the predictive model, and we will use that predictive model for new data. In the simple way, we will have the model that we will use in our real-time applications that will help us to predict the future occurrence of that thing. And with the help of that, we will take the decisions and we will improve our businesses, our organizations, whatever. So this was the total overview of the machine learning. Now I will discuss about some types of machine learning. Actually, we have the 3 machine learning types. One is the supervised learning, second is unsupervised learning, and the third is reinforcement learning. Let's discuss about the supervised learning first. Actually, this is the very famous and the higher contributed type of the machine learning, and nowadays most of the application is follow the supervised learning. So here the thing is very simple. Supervised learning is technique where we train the machines using a data set that contain both input and nouns. In the simple way, we are telling the machine questions across the answers. For example, if I have to teach a kid about a specific object, for example, I have a bottle, but if someone don't know about what is this object, I will label it. I will tell this is the water. So the next time when the person see this type of object, he will understand this is the bottle. Now the bottle can be different shape, but all are the bottles. In the same way, here you can see we give the different pictures of the characters here, but we label each picture separately so that machine will understand this shape is also Jerry, this shape is also Jerry, and this as well. And the others are Tom. And we will follow the same steps as I mentioned before. Machine will extract some information feature, and after that, we will give the new data that will not have label, that will just the object. And we will ask the machine, okay, what is this? And the machine will predict that, okay, this is the Jerry and this is the Tom. Hope you understand the concept of the supervised learning. Now let's move to the unsupervised learning. This is same, but the only difference is now we have the unlabeled data. We don't need to tell machine what is this object. Machine will extract the useful information and make the group of that specific object. For example, just for the understanding, if I will capture the picture of this meeting room and give to the machine will check, okay, how many objects are the same. For example, machine will create a cluster. Okay, these are the objects have same features: two eyes, one nose, and lips. And after that, we will make the label. Okay, these all objects are the humans. And the machine will say, check, okay, these objects have the same shape. And it will separate this as a second cluster. So here you can see that we give the same example here to the machine. Machine extracts some features, and after that, it make the cluster. Okay, this is type 1. Machine don't know what is this, but machine know that this is something similar. So it make the cluster, and this is the second cluster. The third type is reinforcement learning. And this is very famous nowadays. ChatGPT is also using this. And actually, reinforcement learning is the actual replica of the human thinking, human learning process. And here, actually, how is replica of human? Because we also learn on the base of reward and punishment. In the same way, here we have an agent. Agent is a machine. We will put the agent in the environment. This agent don't have any data. The agent will perform some random action, and on the base of the random action, the agent will update the memory. You can see some vacuum machines nowadays. Once that vacuum machine is touched with the wall, that vacuum machine will not go back to that wall, and it will go to the other side. In the same way, if the machine identify the object as a Tom, and that is not actually Tom, then it will get the punishment. Next time, the machine will try some other random things. And this way, it will update its knowledge base. And after that, it will return the same model. And we will use that model in our real-time applications. I hope you understand here. And this is totally based on the randomness, same like the humans. If we have the kid who don't know anything and he have to walk, if he walks straight, he will touch with the table. And now it will update the memory. Like next time, he will not move forward because he know that this is something that will hit him. So in the same way, the agent will learn and perform the action in the on the environment. So this is all from my side. Now I would like Mr. Tariq to come and show us some fascinating and the interesting application to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adeel. I hope all of you learned a lot in this session. So what I'm going to do that I will start with a question, a very simple question. I hope all of you, maybe not all of you, but most of you like drinking beer, right? Okay, okay. So what do you think what an AI will do if it want to drink some beer? Any guess? Hmm? Sorry, say again. AI will take a screenshot. Yeah. Yeah. So let's start with the examples. The first one is a cockroach cyborgs. They are like AI guided. They actually they are recently developed by someone in Singapore, and you have to just put a small chip on them like a backpack, and then you can control it from your phone. You see, you can turn it right and turn it left, and this have a lot of uses in many ways. You can use them for in disaster zones where it's very difficult to take some human, even the cameras, but these cyborgs can do it very easily. Another fascinating thing about this is that you do not need any surgery or any kind of medical thing to make some biological changes to those insects. You just have to put the sensor on them, and then it will just control it using using some signals like UV. Some animals have antennas, and you can control. They sense the ultraviolet using those antennas. Some senses distance, and you can manipulate those distances and those ultraviolet using AI and give that signal to those specific insects. So now, from now on, I think we will be scared of cockroaches for two reasons. One, that they can fly anytime, and second, that they can do surveillance also. Some more examples in health sector. Why it look like this? Yeah, I think I know. So the first one is like nowadays we the AI is so powerful that it can detect, it can do brain scans, I think, and detect strokes like two times faster than humans. So it's very fascinating. Like you can save lives if you know in advance, like if the stroke is occurring or not. Similarly, like AstraZeneca, I think you already know this company. They developed an AI detection soft model that can detect up to 1,000 diseases, and like not in real time, but like long before even the disease is in very severe stage. Similarly, we have nowadays the AI can discover brain lesions like 64% better than the radiologist. So these tools help a lot. There are some cancer detection tools as well. They can detect cancer at very early stage. Similarly, other diseases as well. Okay. Okay. Similarly, bone fractures, some AI can now detect very, very minor bone fractures as well. In medical industry, I think by the end of 2025, there will be around like 2.5 billion dollars of projected revenue using AI. And at the end of 2034, it will reach around 17 billion. So that's a lot, I think, in medical industries. So I will now finish my part with another question. I am going to show you a video, and you have to tell me that which part of that video is AI generated or which part of that video have some mistakes. So let's start.
Fine. Oh, cool. Then forget I said anything. Hello, my wife is going into labor.
Is this her first child?
No, this is her husband. Hey, do you have any books on turtles?
Hardback?
Hardbacks?
Terrific.
Yeah, with little heads.
I'm sorry, sir. Your dad was pronounced dead.
Oh, I can't believe I've been pronouncing it wrong all this time. Hey, James, I've got your results here. Did I pass? You will. Soon.
How did you find your steak, sir?
Well, I just looked next to the potatoes and there it was.
Hey, I saw a deer on the way to work this morning.
How do you know it was on its way to work?
Hey, Are you nervous?
Yes.
Is this your first time?
No, I've been nervous many times before.
The last one is my favorite. So anyone? Any feedback? Yeah. All of them are generated using the latest VO3 that was announced by Google. And you can see the voices and it almost flawless. Previously, the AI used to have some problem with fingers and things like that, but now it's almost perfect. That's all from our side. And let's start with the question answering session.
So thank you, Adeel and Tariq. So it was very fantastic. So now we love to hear from people here. So please feel free to raise your hand or just ask the question in your mind or in online as well. If you have a question, please drop in the chat box. Okay, so over to the floor. Any question?
Maybe I'll start. Thank you very much for your interesting talk, and we learn a lot. I think like if one do statistic or learn about statistic, you would think that like AI would be similar to statistics or econometrics, or the analysis that use the data. My question is, what's the difference between like just plain statistic and AI?
I think statistics is like actually these all of these field they like merged over each other. I will say like AI is, for example, data analysis or prediction using AI. It's like extension of the normal conventional statistics, because like in normal conventional statistic we use, you may know it better than me, that we have some trend lines that are sometimes straight, that are sometimes curve, sometimes something like that. But AI, the power of AI is that it can capture very variable patterns in the data. Like if it's not straight line, if it's the curvature is like maybe 10 time like 10 degree or something like that, so the AI can capture that also. So we can say that AI using the some kind of regression or things like that, AI is like the extension of that. It goes further and even capture the more complex patterns and things like that. I hope that answer you guys.
Um, Hi, thank you very much for your presentation. Very intriguing indeed. When you presented on the types of machine learning that you mentioned broadly, three types of that. One is perhaps supervised and unsupervised and reinforced thingy. Are there any sort of superiorities among these modalities, or it just been there for different purposes? Like why certain use may have want to go for supervised, like for example, a ChatGPT would be best for this reinforced thing. Yeah, that's the question.
What is your actual question? Why we are using the reinforcement learning, or why we are using this supervised learning?
No, I mean, in your opinion, out of these three types, like which one do you feel like it's quite like more superior than the others? For example, and yeah, something like that.
Okay, let me answer this thing. Obviously, the reinforcement learning is very famous nowadays and it's very superior. But the other thing is very difficult to train the agent who don't have any data behind it. So that's why nowadays everyone is focusing on the reinforcement learning, where the agent can learn more accurately as compared to the supervised learning, because supervised learning is based on the data and it have some limitation. If we have more data, the chances of accuracy is higher, but if we have very less data, we will get the model, but the chances of accuracy will be very low. But if you will see the reinforcement learning, an agent have to learn by itself, by the actions. So in this way, we will get the better algorithms and better performance.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you. And also, I'm asking this out of somebody who has zero knowledge on machine learning. So, has there been any cases where like different sort of types can be merged? Like, they learn through both the reinforcement thing, but also the supervised thing, or
Okay,
anything?
let me answer this question. Actually, I'm also planning in the next session, we will discuss how the different domains of the artificial intelligence can merge together and solve a particular problem. But again, your question is you want to merge the reinforcement learning with the supervised learning. In some cases, we can do it, but this is not be beneficial for us because alone reinforcement learning is providing everything that we are expecting from the supervised learning. I hope I answered your question. Yeah. But let me add something more. Like if we want to apply the machine learning model on the images. So in the normal way, images means that we are opening the camera and we are seeing something and the machine have to learn. But alone machine learning is not capable here. We need the computer visions here. So we have to teach machines what you are looking because it's very obvious that machine is always understanding the language 0101 in the bit, but we have to train machine on a specific pattern that can be understand what it is seeing in the camera, and after that the artificial intelligence, especially the machine learning, will extract the pattern with the help of computer vision. So next in the next sessions, we will also start the machine learning with the help of images and computer visions. Yeah. Next.
Okay, and that was a nice presentation. Thank you, both of our presenters, sorry. I just want to ask about bias. How can you be so sure that AI will avoid any biasness on any given circumstances? How can we be so sure that the predictive results we are seeing are unbiased? And what is the basis of reliability and validity? Thank you.
Okay. So the question is how we can verify that the machine learning model is working fine or not. So as I mentioned in my presentation, we have the data and we in the beginning we split the data in two parts. One part we will give to machine for understanding what we want, and other part we will keep it. We will not show to the machine. Once we will get the model, we will use our testing data to validate that specific model, and we will see what is the difference between the prediction and the actual data because we already know the answer. So we will match with the training data. So this is the way we can easily identify the performance of the machine learning model.
So you mean we still need human brain to analyze our final forecast?
Obviously, like as I mentioned that we have some steps. Machine learning is just the component where we use some algorithms to extract the information. All other things, data gathering, objectives, finalizing, and the data cleanings involve the humans. It doesn't mean that we are giving just one problem to the machine and machine will give us everything. Humans are involved in these things.
Okay, just a last follow-up question.
Yeah, please.
If we have to reanalyze our data with human outputs, then in one sentence, just let me know what AIT does then. So AI does then. So that's my last question. That's
Mean that if we have to do it manually, then why we are using the AI?
if we have to validate manually as well, then in one sentence, in very brief, like the normal man will understand why we need AI in particular.
Answer in just one sentence, like we are going to predict something that is not happen now. We are predicting the futures. As a human, I can verify with the current situation, but machine learning allow us to predict for the future. For example, now I am here, but after 1 week or 1 year, what will happen? We don't know, but the machine learning will tell us. okay, this is the trend and you have to take some action to avoid that uncertainty. Or this is the profit margin you will get on that specific month. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
You can ask more questions.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone want to ask some fun question? Want to ask some
yes.
fun question?
I'm just curious in terms of application when you show the cockroach on that. Are there any differences in terms of the research like that and the traditional? Like, do you need to ask for the ethical clearance before you you implant this machine into animals? Well, insects probably not there yet, but when you step it up, because it said the guided robot something, right? When you perhaps in the future use with animals, for example, are these traditional requirements in terms of like research applied to the same way to the AI research? You know what I mean?
Could you please replace your question again?
Like, for example, like, do you need to ask for the ethical clearance before you can use that into like animals, like AI, for example, the guided machine thing, or it's not yet there? Yeah. Um,
Not just for that specific research. In every type of research, when we are going to use a data, we need some permissions. This is also our moral duty. We have to use the data that is already approved by someone. Otherwise, it will be a serious consequences for us. We have to understand what type of data we are using, what are the biasness of that data. And without that, it will be, I will say that, sorry to say, it will be unethical. Yeah, we cannot use this type of data. And obviously, in that examples, this product is launched by some specific lab, and they will have the ethical clearance certificate as well. And we can see easily on their website. Yeah. But if you are familiar with the drones, now drones technology is boosting, but we cannot fly the drone here because we don't have the permission. So in the same way, if we are going to use this type of application, we have to check the environment and we have to take some permission for the real-time application of that specific thing. Thank you so much.
So one questions for me. So when you walk us through the step to develop machine learning technologies, for example, set objective, collect data, prepare data. So in practice, which part is the most challenging for countries that are in the early stages of developing AI tools?
So, I will say data collection and the cleaning. This is the most time consuming, and nowadays we are also experiencing this in our project. This is the most toughest part in the project. Sometimes we have a very good idea, but we cannot execute because of the data unavailability. So data collection and after that data cleaning, that is the main part of every machine learning development. Yeah.
So maybe a fun question, since that request. What do you think would become reality in terms of AI within the Black Mirror episodes? I hope you've seen it before. If you haven't seen it, it's okay. just wondering what kinds of AI would become real, like in this coming like 5 to 10 years.
As I mentioned that, and to be very honest, we will stay in the stage one, the simple narrow AI. We cannot achieve the AI same like the human's brains. It's at this stage it's impossible, but maybe after 10 years 20 years it's possible, but at this stage no one can give us the exact answer because we need the consciousness level same like the humans, and machines cannot do this at this stage. Yeah.
Okay, since our time is limited, there's a few questions asked by attendees in Q&A chat box. So I will read like a few questions, just one for now. So the question is, how are we going to address the challenge of diversity, equity, and inclusiveness of using AI?
I think we have to like it's very difficult to address all of these because we humans always try to bend the things to our benefits, but we can do it by like giving access to the AI to everyone, like creating awareness among everyone. So I think we can address this challenge somehow, but it's still very difficult because uh, at that stage it's very costly also, and like now you can see like only few countries are developing AI, and they are proceeding in that direction because they have the money to do so. So it's very difficult to address this challenge, but still there is like some way to do it somehow.
Thank you. Next question is, in your view, what are the biggest misconceptions people have about AI today?
As I mentioned in my presentation, nowadays people influenced by the sci-fi movies on the Netflix, and they see some movies including the Terminators, and they think that nowadays the same type of artificial intelligence is existing. So this is the misconception that is very next level of AI. We cannot compare that type of AI with our original AI actually. So this is the biggest confusion nowadays. People are thinking that the world is going to destroy because of the artificial intelligence, but actually that artificial intelligence is so far and no one can answer how far it is. Yeah, thank you.
Two more questions. Said the algorithm is developed based on data from specific time period. However, as time goes by, its accuracy tends to decline. Do you have any suggestions on how we can continuously validate or update it to maintain or even improve the accuracy?
Actually, it depends on what type of problem we are solving. If we are focused on the time, as you mentioned that after some time the accuracy will decrease, then we don't need the simple AI algorithm. We will go for the long-term, short-term memory algorithms. We have a various way to handle this challenge. That is the time series algorithms that can validate itself with the passage of time. So that's totally depends on our problem, what type of problem we are going to solve. And after that, we will adopt specific algorithms that can continuously check and adopt. And at this scenario, I will say that the time series algorithms can easily handle this challenge. Yeah, thank you.
Last question. So it said once we develop AI and machine learning to a point where their data analysis is reliable and meet our refined standard, how can we effectively present the transparency of data analyzed by these AI ML systems to policymakers, ensuring their understanding and acceptance?
Actually, if you're talking about the data validation through the AI, then I will say that we cannot blindly trust on these type of models, because even if you will see ChatGPT, we cannot blindly trust. Even the company claim that some information are fake. So we cannot rely, but in our conventional way, humans are involved in this process. And with the help of humans, we can easily handle this problem. Yeah, I hope I answered this question.
So thank you for questions, and it's time to wrap up and say goodbye because it's time up now. So thank you so much for our speaker, Dr. Adeel, Munawar, and Mr. Tariq. So here we hope that you can learn something new, and hopefully you will continue to learn about AI and get to know about AI together. So thank you very much, Ka.